Hello there. I didn't expect to see you here, or did I expect myself to be here in the first place? But, as you all hopefully learned in school, anything real is made of atoms, which means, unfortunately, apparently I'm still atoms. That's right, I'm real again. One might suppose that I owe you an explanation for my absence. All I can say is, I suffer from procrastination, and I'll try and soften the blow for you, but I think you do too. You see, as a medical professional, I think that you are procrastinating hitting that subscribe button. What am I doing? Happy birthday. That's right, it's been a year. I've got a surprise for you, but first I'm gonna show you a cool little clip from 1 year ago.
All of my strategies have failed, and I will never be good at Bed Wars. Do not die.
Wait,
please,
these guys are being good.
No, come back, please. You've never played Bed Wars, you don't even have combat skills. I'm surprised you know how to shift.
No, wasn't that something? The surprise I told you about earlier was that I'm hosting a birthday party, and you're invited to watch. It's my birthday, guys.
Yo,
yeah,
happy birthday!
It's amazing.
Happy birthday! That's crazy, bro.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Wow,
Awesome.
yay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
You.
Okay. While I may have been gone for the past 6 months, know that I still collect my Melon minions. Using the money I gathered over the past 6 months, I have successfully applied mithril infusions to all of my Melon minions. Also, in simpler terms, just means more melons. But while I was gone, something happened that would change farming forever. In a terrible way. The change in question is pests. Periodically, while farming, a pest will arrive on the garden. You can click on the message to teleport to the plot the pest is on. This is where it all goes downhill. You have to manually fly around until you find the pest, which can be hard sometimes if it decides to only appear when within 5 blocks of it. Here you can see me get lucky when finding the pest, but my soul left my body when I realized it was an earthworm. You can suck up the pests using a vacuum, but the thing with earthworms is that they burrow into the ground and you have to find them all over again. The following footage is mostly just me going around my island trying to find it all over again, so I'll speed it up for you, but it is a painful experience to deal with these pests. Oh, and another thing, it heals when you don't get to it fast enough, so now, half of your farming experience is just a cat and mouse game with a worm. Luckily, it's not a complete waste of time to kill these pests. We can now take their trapped bodies to this guy named Philip, and in return, we get 10 temporary farming fortune. If you're wondering what happens if you don't suck up the pests with your vacuum, you start to lose farming fortune, which is less than ideal when you're farming. Anyway, back to the melon at hand. Recently, my growth on the leaderboard has seemingly flatlined due to the competition among the bracket I find myself in. Because of the sheer amount of people dedicating their lives to farming melons, productivity has come to a cease. Since I now find myself filthy rich, I've decided to spend all of my money on gear that could speed up my melon gaining process by as much as possible. The question was, what would I buy? It was clear that the first thing I needed to upgrade was my armor, so I did the only thing I knew how and went to the auction house to scan for potential new options. After some quick scanning, I came upon the Fermento armor. It gave quite a bit of farming fortune and was the highest tier of farming armor available to my knowledge, but it came at a hefty cost. So I impulsively bought it. Instead of selling my old armor like a casual, in the spirit of Hypixel Christmas, I gave away 11 million coins in armor to some random player. Alright, we're gonna do it. Merry Christmas. Anyway, now that I'm done committing Mr. Beasts, I think it's time we return to the problem at hand. We need to enhance my melon production. You see, there's this minion upgrade, and it goes by the name of Flycatcher. In fact, it's pretty good, but there's just one small problem. It requires Spider Slayer 6, something I don't have. Luckily, this wasn't a complete oversight on my end. Since the beginning of my melon ascension, I slowly chipped away at this milestone, but only now does it become a problem, when I need it most. We can do some math to find out how long it would take me from this point to get to Spider Slayer 6. By dividing the amount of experience I require to level up by the amount of experience I receive from each Slayer boss, we find that I need to kill 30 Terras. Knowing that each fight takes me on average about 10 minutes, we can multiply these two quantities to find that it will take me 300 minutes, or 5 hours, of non-stop spider stabbing for 20% more melons. But instead of standing around waiting for this challenge to do itself, I begin. Wish me luck.
You again? What do you want this time?
Hey Maddox, I need a favor. I need a license to kill some spiders.
What tier?
Tier 4, that alright?
50,000 gold pieces, you got it?
Yeah, hey Maddox, I might call you 29 more times tonight, so if you don't mind not being able to sleep, I have some spiders to kill. Hey guys, it's me Zed, and I just survived Hypixel Skyblock progression. If you don't mind, I'm going to detail this struggle and how it went while you watch some clips of me suffering with a good old VHS filter slapped on top of it. It all began fairly smoothly. My strategy during this entire mess was to fight the spider slayers in Arachne's sanctuary. I did this for one reason. Reason being, there was other people there who would practically kill the slayers for me, meaning all I had to do was kill the Arachne's spawn until the slayer decides to show up, and then just do my best to survive. As it would turn out, this did not take 5 hours. My math was in fact a fluke. You see, my average kill time from earlier was just a single slayer and how long it took me to kill it solo by myself. It would in fact become clear soon that because of my involuntary servants, this would be shortened to about 3 minutes, meaning that Spider Slayer 6 only took me about 1.5 hours of spider genocide. Let's talk difficulty curve. As I said, the beginning was pretty smooth sailing. The main problem I had throughout this whole ordeal was finding a server with high enough level players that would assist me with the Terras. Toward the 3/4 mark, things got a little tougher. I kept finding lobbies with people, but they only cared to watch me suffer and die. It was also at this time that my friend Ojaz came to my rescue. He stayed by my side for the rest of this tedious project, which is why he's the next guest star of the video.
It was the final stretch that Zed began to see hope. You see, the last section of his journey took place in a server that contained a player capable of one-tapping a Tier 4 Spider Slayer boss. But then, catastrophe struck. Right before the final Slayer killed, the server rebooted and all hope was lost. But it wasn't over yet. Zed managed to find another server with quite a few people, who he hired as involuntary servants, and finally, after what felt like hours, achieved Spider Slayer 6.
Unfortunately, as of right now, I don't have the means to slap flycatchers on my minions quite yet, so that's for another video. Don't worry, I might not forget about them. I suppose the next best thing to do would be to gather intel on what we could do next to enhance melon production, and so I went to the only place I knew would hold the information I needed, Melon King D's island. If you don't know, he's currently the #1 melon farmer, meaning he holds the knowledge of the melon far greater than any other player. At first glance, his island seems pretty devoid of any melon knowledge, until you realize that he built this. I think I underestimated what I was up against.
Okay, Liam, no coughing, no eating, no playing Ultra Kill, no breathing too heavily, no existing. You got it?
Take about 50 gigabytes.
He does not got it.
Alright, I had to get that out of my system.
Okay,
Anyways,
okay, go.
It's my birthday, guys.
Yo!